When you operate from a solutions-based mindset, your problems become paychecks. Stop running from the only thing that's going to make you wealthy. What up? Back with another episode of From the Bottom podcast. Got your host Fitz. We got Ty.
You know what it is, rude boy.
We got Aaron in the spirit. He unfortunately couldn't make it. You know, he has work right now, but nonetheless, we are still here for you. Do me a favor real quick. If you have not hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We got 36 subscribers. We trying to get this message to more people. Hit that like button, comment. If you on Facebook, go to the actual YouTube video channel and subscribe, like, comment, share, show all your support. We giving this to y'all for free. We not charging nothing. So do your part, be smart, and let's get it. All right, how you been?
I've been good, bro. Hold on real quick. Let me see something. Having some technical difficulties.
Take your time. Take your time while
We good.
Ty's taking care of his technical difficulties. Just wanted to say, everyone be safe. All those people being affected by this winter storm.
This guy. Where in
Um,
Texas?
it's in Texas, but it's supposed to be going to Louisiana,
Y'all got ice?
Colorado. Yeah, there's a 113 car pileup the other day.
How'd you get ice on the? I don't understand that. Y'all
So the
didn't even
way,
get snow.
so the it happens because I mean I forget the science behind how snow happens.
Mm,
It's like in the clouds, but it
right.
happens sometimes here. But it just got so cold where
Mm.
it actually rained, and the rain was hitting
Oh.
the ground, and then it was turning into like slush or whatever, like that.
Okay.
So it
I got you
froze
now.
overnight one day, and then at like 6 or 7 in the morning on the
Mhm.
highway, it was black ice, and you can't see black ice. So there's a 113 car pileup. Um,
Right.
yeah. So and then since then it's just been crappy weather. Had to cancel a showing. Um, well, I rescheduled it. I didn't cancel it,
Right.
but I mean that's what we've been dealing with so far. They talking about power outages. So at any
Damn.
moment my power could go out. It's not because bills didn't get paid or anything like that.
Ah,
I know
he's rich.
y'all not paying us, but still we able to we able to keep the lights on. So
Yo.
uh, yeah.
Yeah, we got a winter storm. We got one coming right now. We about to get another like probably 8 to 10 inches, maybe a foot of snow at least. We already got like, bro, we already got like probably like, mm, I'll say probably about a cool 8 inches at least from last time. So now it's snowing right now pretty hard, and we got all the ice and all that stuff too. But
I'm
I
trying my
seen
hardest not to say that's what she said.
this this guy. Y'all fools, listen, this is a message for all those fools driving. Y'all need to get up out the way. How you live in Illinois, but you got you have a front wheel drive. You don't even have full wheel drive or all wheel drive. What are you doing? Get a
Every
different car.
Some people maybe they just that's the car they got. That
Listen, hey, you can afford a Honda CRV.
mm.
All right. You can afford a newer version of 2009. They going for about 7. Y'all out here
Give
paying.
them the 7.
Y'all
Give
out
them.
here paying. Listen, they out here paying over 10 for a Toyota that ain't got no all-wheel drive, bro. And all these people who driving these foreign cars, stop driving them in a snowy place. You out here driving like a turtle. I'm gonna run you over, bro. I got a Jeep. Get
Mm.
up out my way.
Kelly Blue
Move.
Book. He said Kelly
Move.
Blue Book.
Hey,
He been in the Blue Book studying it.
bro. I just it don't make sense. How like logically, how you gonna live in a state where you know it's gonna be like a bad winter and you driving, hey, if you that's all you can afford, that's all you can afford. But if you can do your best to get something like a small SUV or something, you be straight. Stop getting all these cars to impress people. Get what you can afford. Get what's gonna get you from A to B. Don't get
Here's
no Toyota with front wheel drive.
the thing though is that preparation is a skill,
Ooh,
And even if
don't
people
do it.
did have the money,
Don't do it.
I'm gonna go there. If people did have the money, you know what I'm saying? Think about all the things that you can prepare for in your life for free, like developing your mindset. That don't really cost a thing. Like yeah, you can buy stuff if you want to go deeper and all that, but there are things that you can do for free, but everybody wants a sports car or what they think is a sports car. Like, you know, it I just feel like people aren't prepared because they've never been prepared. And
Right.
so, I don't know, I just for me it's like if you are going to live in a state where there is this type of weather normally, like you're saying,
Yeah.
Illinois,
Yeah.
then yeah, make that investment because it does make a difference. Like we got the we got the SUV and it has the four-wheel drive, and you definitely feel more comfortable driving in that than the
Yep.
sports car, than the car with the front wheel drive that maybe looks better, but it's not serving you when it comes down to it in different environments. Um, but yeah, back to the preparation thing.
Mm-hmm.
Are people really trying to be prepared? Is it about preparing? Why are people buying cars? It
Yeah.
goes back to that. What's your reason why you're buying the car?
It'd be different if it'd be different if these fools knew how to drive. That's the biggest part for me. Is like I went from Florida all the way to Colorado. I never drove in the snow, even when I was in Ohio. Never drove in the snow. Got to Colorado, and obviously I didn't have the right car. I had a Dodge Neon at the time. Slid down the hill by the football field. Um, Ended up getting a Honda CRV, and I was good then. Learned how to drive in the snow. I was straight. Um, and then I had that little Chevy Aveo for like shoot almost 5 years, bro. I would have brought it up here, but I already knew it wasn't gonna make it. It wasn't gonna make it through the snow. It wasn't gonna make it, so had to upgrade to the big bad boy Jeep.
Mm.
But
The drifting,
yeah, you gotta turn the traction control off. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. See that? Talking about
uh,
me, I ain't got no traction control.
yeah, you do. Every car got it. You just gotta turn it off. You can turn it off or turn it on.
I don't know about it.
You gotta if you go on YouTube and just type in the model of your car, I'm sure there's a video on how to turn it on or off.
Hey, maybe there probably is.
But y'all, boy, ooh, Texas, I'm disappointed in you. Y'all got all them big old trucks and those big old tires, and y'all out here sliding like you skating on the road.
Nah, black ice is different though.
Disappointed, Fitz.
Black ice, it don't matter if you even if
No,
you got
no
four-wheel
excuses.
drive, black ice is different.
I know.
It's
And for those people who do have full drive, just because you have full drive doesn't mean it's gonna get you to where you need to go. Especially if it's a blizzard, you need to know how to drive. You need to get more prepared.
and here's what I will say is like what I was thinking about with the black ice was, black ice is so dangerous because you can't see it. Like it looks just like the regular road, right? And you don't know something's wrong until you're sliding out, or you don't know something's wrong until something's wrong, pretty much. And I was thinking that happens to so many people in real life though. Like a lot of people are living their life on black ice,
Mm,
but
preach, preach,
the thing
preacher.
is though there are signs that say black ice on the roads they're going down. It's like you go down this road, you're probably gonna slip and slide off and end up, in an accident. And then there's other routes where it's like, there's not black ice, but there may be some obstacles. But you know, that's the thing. Again, black ice is so dangerous because you can't see it, but a lot of people choose not to see the problems in their life. And so when I saw that 113 car pileup the other day, I was like, yeah, I can see why it happened. It's Texas. People aren't used to the black ice, this type of weather. And then I got to thinking about how people are living their lives, like that moment where something does happen and then it's like, okay, well, I didn't know that this was going to happen. It just kind of happened so suddenly. But at the same time, how can you walk away from this situation and grow? That's what I'm thinking. Like, how can Texas grow moving forward, trying to look at solutions? Because in places where it snows more, I really didn't like. You would think that you would see those type of pileups there because it happens more often. But they're preparing, like you were saying earlier, preparation really
Yeah,
cause.
there's 100 car pileup in Colorado.
Was there?
20. Let's see. When did I go back to the crib? 2019. So yeah. So in because I went back in 2020. No. Yeah. No, I went back in 2019. Yeah. So to 2018 December. That's December. Yeah. Um, we had a blizzard in Denver, and I just had left work. Because it made me come into work at the time, and it wasn't supposed to hit until 12, but it hit at 10. And there's 100 car pileup on the interstate with the semi truck.
Mm.
I was lucky enough to not have been on there when it happened, but it just goes to show you, like, even people that live in these places that are cold, they still don't know how to drive either. Like on my way home, somebody fell into the ditch.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And it's like if you're using the same tools that you're using in your normal life, when there's a hazard or something's wrong, then something bad is bound to happen. Like that's why it's good to do personal development, professional development, self development, so that you have an arsenal of tools so that when you are coming up against different obstacles in life, you're not sitting here trying to use, you know, a hammer when you need something different. You're not sitting here trying to use aggression when maybe you need diplomacy. You're not sitting here trying to use excuses when you need to take responsibility. Um, so this is what this podcast is really about: is
Don't
helping you
hurt them.
build those tools. What'd you say?
Don't hurt them.
Don't hurt them.
Don't hurt them. Talk your
Look,
stuff, boy.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's not even about hurting people. It's about helping people change for themselves. And I think preparation is key. And the reason I think that is because, like, it goes back to the tools. If you know what you're going to fix, then you know what tools to bring. But if you've ever tried to fix a car and it's like you're fixing it, you have all the major things down, but then you get to that one part where it's like, I don't have that tool. It's so difficult because now it seemed like it was so insignificant, but you need that tool to get that nut or that bolt loose and get to where you need to be at, but you don't have that tool. So now you have to go get that tool. And for a lot of people, they try their hardest to not have to go get that tool because it's such an inconvenience now that they're actually in the thing that they're doing. Whereas if they would have had the tool from the get go and been prepared and knew what they were fixing, then it would have just been as simple as digging in their toolbox, you know?
Yep, that's how I felt. Um, man, like your car is like you said, preparation. Your car is an investment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's what gets you around wherever you live to your job. You know, whatever the case may be. So if you're not prepared and you risk wrecking your car, like that's just gonna cause more problems, more money out of your pocket, um, things of that nature. And I was thinking, I was reflecting recently, because I just had got this job, that kind of fits what I want to do as far as my career goes and the way I want to open my business up and stuff like that. So I was just grateful because everything was kind of just falling into place. I played the hard card when I first got here. Um, I had a job secured, but it fell through because of funding. They didn't have the funding, and then the school went down the drain. So for about 6, 7 months, probably, I've been chilling. Really, I've been doing school, internships, stuff like that. But I actually took the motive to really force my value and my worth among these little corporation jobs and really make them realize like who they're dealing with. At this point, I done leveled up so much mentally and professionally, emotionally. Like it was time for people to start seeing that and stop seeing me as just another person coming through. Um, so that when you just said preparation, that's what I thought of as well. I had to prepare so much for this moment that I'm in right now, not knowing that it was going to come. Because I mean, who can be unemployed for 7 months and like keep going? There was times where I was like, man, I ain't gonna find a job. Like this ain't worth it. This was a waste of time. Because initially I moved up here to, just kind of have a fresh start, be in a new place, get the experience, all that stuff. So now that I got the job, everything's falling into place, and like the goal that I'm trying to reach is right there. The preparation, the execution, the determination. Let me tell you something. That 7 months was the hardest 7 months of my entire life. Like not knowing if you're gonna get a job, getting turned by like I done got so many no's. I just started expecting no's from everybody, man. And then I had a job with, to be in a position of like a director and stuff like that. Obviously, somebody who had more experience got it. But to be, I don't want to say nominated, but to have that interview with them, like, made me level up even more. Like, hey, they see it, they know the worth, but ultimately, man, preparation is key. Investing in yourself, like, stop wasting your time. Get into books, read books. If you don't like reading books, do audiobooks. Audiobooks while you work out is 100% perfect. Watch documentaries, get on YouTube. Like, it's too much out here for people just to be slacking off. And, I think about what we went through in college and how we got to the point that we are now. Like, I wouldn't say we wasted time, but we wasn't really hip to what we doing now. And now I don't even feel like, I really don't even feel like we backtracking. I feel like we just really starting from that point and we're elevating pretty fast. I mean, I think a lot of things are going in the flow the way they need to go. And we finna hit some points a lot faster than other people.
Yeah,
And that's all due to preparation.
and I think, going back to what you said about college and where we were then, that's, in my opinion, that's who I needed to be, because before I was so focused on money and I was so focused on what I thought I wanted that I wasn't able to stay in college long enough to be in college, because I was just so focused on money that every time I would get low on money, it'd be like, I'm just gonna go get a job, forget college, this, and this. But I had to kind of shut that switch off and just focus on what I needed to focus on in that moment. And I think that's what people don't understand about an investment, is that sometimes it looks like you have nothing, but once you hit that opportunity, then that investment shows itself. So, like you're saying, we went, and no, we weren't focused on the money in college and stuff like that. And up until this point, we're not super rich and all that. But once we hit that opportunity, it's gonna go a lot higher than it would have probably if we would have just started and kind of just stayed at that level. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Because
yeah.
there's certain things with college that I know how to do now. Like I know how to research, I know how to articulate things and put things together in ways that maybe I wouldn't have. I know how to
Right.
speak a different language, um, and I know what it takes. And also, I think it is a confidence booster in a sense, because you can walk in a room and be like, okay, these people have more money than me, but it's obviously not because they're smarter than me. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially with us getting the master's degrees, less people have those in the bachelor's degree. And it's like, I think a lot of what's holding people back is they just think because someone is doing better than them or is where they want to be in life, that means that they're smarter than them or better than them. But when you do something for yourself, and when you're able to accomplish something, even if there's not a monetary gain at the end, that does something for you. So that preparation, even though when you're preparing, even though when you've done 10 weeks of a podcast and have, 10 views a week, that's preparation for something. So as we're doing this podcast, not getting that many views, we're actually being prepared for something greater. And when that greater thing comes, it's going to take off just like it's boom. But we're preparing for that right now. Every week we're getting better. Every week we're getting bigger. Every week we're coming with something new. And, people watching are probably annoyed at first because we're working things out. They're like, oh, look at this low quality video. Look at, like they're annoyed. But then one day they're gonna tune in, there's gonna be 30 comments, and they're gonna go, let me comment. Let me message them. And how'd y'all do that? Let put me on. You know? And that's how it will work. That's how it will go.
Yep.
Mark this episode as me like predicting that. That is exactly how it will go. They nobody wants to mess with you when you got like 12 views. But then when you start getting thousands of views, now everybody's like, oh, I knew you from the beginning.
How'd you do it?
Yeah,
You're my
how'd you
cousin.
do it? Yeah, I mean,
uh,
and I did want to ask a question.
let me touch on a point before you do that. So
All right.
you said that we're not rich yet, but man, like I don't know, bro. Like I feel rich, and not in a like a monetary like value, but more like my mindset. Like I know I can get the money. Like I'm to the point where like money's not even a thing. The money gonna come, but that feeling like I got it. I got the mindset. Like this job I went into, never done it before, don't have any experience. There's a girl there. She has I don't know how many years of experience she has, but she's worked at 6 different places. And so for me, that I mean, obviously that's kind of intimidating. You walk in, you're new, you know, they kind of just throw you in with the sharks. And for me, I can adjust and adapt. I'm confident. But at first, I was like a little intimidated. I'm like, oh, okay, like you got you got ahead, but in reality, I'm more ahead than she is, and that's purely based off me being prepared, determined, committed, and patient. It's all gonna come. But man, I feel rich in my mindset, bro. Like, whoo, boy, I'm pumped over here, dog. Like,
But
I
that's
don't know,
where it
man.
starts.
Grateful. I'm grateful.
And that's good because that's where it starts. And a lot of people want to be rich physically before they're rich mentally. And that's cool if you're inheriting something, but you have to see yourself with it, like before you have it, because that changes your behavior. Now you're not acting desperate. Now you're not going into an interview, you know, trying to be someone you're not. You know what I mean? Like it, and you can go into that job and do that job,
Yeah,
hopefully because you're being who you are and not
yeah,
who they want you to be. And that's what
yeah.
that's what the
Exactly.
wealth is. That's what
Exactly.
being rich is to me, is like, you're living like you're rich and you become rich because of that. And people keep living like they're poor, so then they stay poor. And not just financially. Like, I'm not talking about financially. What I'm talking about is like your mentality, like Ty was saying, like your the way that you approach things. Like, he heard no for 7 months and he needed to hear no one more time. Like, he needed to keep hearing no and no and no, and then somebody said yes, but he was
They
prepared for them no's.
they actually said no at first.
So, see, they said no at first.
They said that they didn't have the hours. They let me know, and then man, probably 2 weeks later, they was like, "All right, here we go." So you know, you got to keep going even when you hear the no's. I know it's discouraging. I know it's like, dang man, like another one, like I just ain't worth it. Like you start feeling worthless. You start feeling like not good enough. But you have to remember that you are good enough. You have value and worth as a person. And if they can't see that, then that's gonna be their loss automatically. Like there's a lot of jobs that hit me up now saying, "Oh, we want you," and it's like, nah, like I'm already above you. You should have took me while I was trying to get with you. Like there was one job out here um, that I was with for a little while, but ended up having to leave because of internship and stuff. And they wanted me to come back, so I was like, all right, I'm in a better situation now than I was. So pretty much we did an interview and all that stuff, but then they were like, oh well, we can't take you because of your school schedule. So I got crucified for going to school. So I got applauded, but also crucified at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta thug it out, man. Like it's that simple. And stop having distractions. Like get into different stuff. Like I got into investing on the Robinhood app thing, whatever it's called. Obviously, I invest a lot of money, but I'm
Mhm.
testing it out, and it's mind blowing to me because in communities that aren't white, this isn't a thing. And now that I'm dipping into it, it's like, bro, this is easy. Like it's once you get a hang of it, it's easy. But it's like if I wasn't so distracted by these little things, I could have been doing this. I could have been making some money. I could have been making investments because this is a long game. But it's just like you gotta stop sitting on your butt watching 20 hours, 24 hours of Netflix. If you're gonna watch Netflix, man, do something else. Write an email, do your homework, do some real estate classes, whatever you want to do. Multitask. Because at some point you're gonna stop watching Netflix and do all those things because you want to do something else um more than doing that. So, man, stop with like the before you go to your question, stop with the distractions. Take all the no's you can get. That one yes is going to be a game changer, and it might elevate you to where you want to be, but you have to be in the right mindset to be right there. So when I say that, like when they say yes, you got to change your mindset around because at that point I was like, man, they gonna say no. I was expecting everything to go bad, so it probably took me a day to like rewire. Like, okay, I'm going back to work. I'm getting back in routine. Um, getting back to hard work. Like for me, it wasn't hard, but you got to be ready for the opportunity when it comes because you can't go in there thinking, it's gonna be the same thing. You got to go in there ready. Okay, they said no, 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 no. This people say yes. What am I gonna do to show them that I am who I am and this is my value? Because now I got a lot more responsibility, and I've only been there for a week. I'm already on the walkie talkie and everything. What you know what I'm saying? Hey, but take all the no's, be ready, stay ready so you don't have to get ready, and just enjoy the process, man. Like if they say no, they say no. That's they loss. It wasn't meant to be. That simple.
That simple from the bottom.
From the bottom, you feel me, boy? Ooh, I'm turned, man. I'm grateful, bro, man. Like people don't understand, man. Like it's the process is difficult, but it's also so simple as well. Once you start changing how you think, how you move, who you talk to, it I don't know, man. It's just like a whole new world.
I agree.
I
I no, I do agree,
love
and
it, bro.
I think, and I'm happy that you're hyped. And this is
Turnt boy.
like, this actually gets me into my question, and I really want to know for like the people watching. Like, I want you to really think about this question. Close your eyes, get a piece of paper, write this down.
Close your eyes. Let me stop.
Don't be afraid. I really want you to think about this. Who who is it that you're waiting to take? Oh, there goes my camera again. All right. No, I actually googled that, and I guess it's something with the camera. Um and it said something like with uh with the cameras, the one that
Mhm.
have videos on it,
Right.
they consider it a video recorder if it records, if it does something for so long or
Yeah.
whatever. So there's a
Got you.
time that it times out so that it's not considered a video recorder, because there's different tax laws or
Gotcha.
whatever on video
Makes
recorders
sense.
compared to cameras. So I was like, all right. But the question I want to ask is, who is it that you're waiting for to take control of your life? Like, who? And I know the first reaction is like, well, me. But look around your life, and how have you set your life up for you to take control of your life? What is it that your life shows that is like, okay, at any moment I can take control of this? You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you get in a car and you get in the back seat, did you really put yourself in the best position to take control of the car? You know? Like, I'm so I'm tired of people pretending like they want control of their life, and then when you look at their life, they haven't put themselves in any type of position to actually be in control. And
Mm.
then they get mad at the people that are in control, like, you're not controlling my life the way that I want you to. Why did you give them that responsibility? Why are you having people control your life and getting mad at them for not controlling it the way that you would control it? Why not just control it yourself? I'll tell you why. Because a lot of people are scared to take control of their life. If you don't take control of your goals, somebody else will take control of your goals. If you don't take control of your life, somebody else will take control of your life. If you don't take control of what you want, somebody else will take control of what you want. It's There's no in between. Like, if you don't have a plan, somebody else does have a plan for you. And this goes back to the black ice example that I was using. It's like, if you don't, it's a moment of vulnerability, because you're not in control for those few seconds. And those few seconds may not seem like a lot, like all the time you've driven, and those few seconds, that's, you know what I mean? Like, that's that could change everything. Those few seconds that you're not in control. So really look at your life and look at where you're actually in control at, and look at where are those few seconds at where you're not in control, because those few seconds may be determining everything else in your life.
Mm. That's tough, bro. Because ultimately, I'll say me. Um, I got everything set up the way it needs to benefit me, elevate me. So from my family to my friends, um, my immediate circle, to school. Like I got certain people that I can lean on. If a situation were ever to pop off with my school, man, that's tough for real. Like I would say, I got it where I need it to be. Um, Probably about 95% of the time. The other 5% is just stuff that uh it's kind of things that I can't control, and that's kind of like people. Sometimes people let you down, disappoint you, stuff like that. Um, Sometimes things happen with the job, so just little things that aren't necessarily on me. It's on other things or people. Um, in the position I am right now, like I've been building up to it, making sure everybody is on board with me. They know the vision, they know the goal. Um, and it's kind of that mentality of get on the train or get off, for sure. So I think, if people want to get on the vibe that we on, they got to start with everything internal and then deal with the external. So if you're not good first, it ain't gonna matter what your outside looks like. Your outside could be damn near perfect, but you not being good on the inside, like it ain't gonna work. So you got to make sure you have both in sync for sure. And sometimes you're gonna get out of sync. Sometimes you're gonna have to step back, readjust, keep going. But when you adaptable and versatile, you be straight. So I'd say 95% of the time. What you think? If you had to give a percentage,
uh
realistically,
I mean, as far as a percentage,
yeah,
um where I want to be is 100%.
right,
Where I'm at mentally is 100%.
yeah,
um where I'm at physically is probably about 70%. And I say 70% because although I want to be, and my goal is to be 100% in control, there are
mm,
parts of my life where I have given up control for now,
mm,
hoping that it pays off in the future. But
mm,
I'm not just giving up control to give it up and permanent, like just put it away. Like, this isn't, you know the old vacuum in the closet that you forget about and is just sitting there, and I'm just gonna tuck that away and just let that sit. It's No, I've put this control into a certain place so that it can grow, and then when it's time, I'm gonna pull that out and take that on. So, for example, we're here living with somebody, right? There's a certain level of control that we have given up. On the flip side, we've given up that control, but we're gaining new opportunities. So there's an exchange. We're giving up control to some degree, but we're gaining something in return. But a lot of people give up control without really gaining anything for the long run. They're
Hmm.
giving up control just so that they can feel secure for the moment, and that's not going to translate into something long term. They're giving up control, and then, like, for instance, with you were talking about investing, like you're giving up some of your control, because if you have more money, you have a little bit more control than you would have, especially when you don't have a lot of money.
Yep.
That's a little more control, but you're giving up some of that control and thinking about the long term, but it doesn't
Hmm.
just disappear. It's
Right.
ideally growing in the background, and then when you need it, you get that control back plus some, and that
Hmm.
depends on whatever investment you made.
Oh yeah, big time.
But the problem that I see is that people look at giving up control for a greater good as the same thing as being lazy and just giving up control. And I don't look at them as the same thing. And I wanted to share this real quick. I was reading this the other day. Let me know if you can see the screen or whatever.
Yeah, I can see
You
it.
okay? You can see it. Okay, so I highlight this part. Can you see that?
Yep.
So it says, and I actually did a research paper on this in college. It's a self determination theory. But it says finding new and changing existing environments to align with our basic psychological needs can maintain and sustain our motivation and allow us to flourish. And I read that, and I was thinking about let me get back to
Yeah, hit
okay.
stop sharing.
Oh, okay. See,
There
I
you
don't
go.
know.
Now
All
you
right.
official. You official.
So I was reading that, and it hit me because it's like it's talking about how you have to change your environment pretty much to maintain yourself and to flourish. And a lot of people, they're not setting themselves up to change their environment to flourish. They're setting themselves up to have somebody else change the environment, and hopefully you just fit in with the new environment. And that's the difference is I want to change the environment. I don't want the environment to change and me be sitting there like, well, I didn't even bring a jacket. you know, like I want to be in control. I want to go, like
Yep.
I want to be in more control. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier. If you don't take control, somebody else will. And so to answer your question, about me, what percentage, like I said, I feel like it's 70, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a healthy 70. It's,
Right.
it's, I'm growing and growing. And at every opportunity, I'm taking more in. I'm like a foster parent that has like a whole house full of controls. Like,
Yep.
give me that, 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 give me that. And I'm just taking on more and more and more. And the things that I don't necessarily want to be in control of, I delegate those to people that I trust. So
Right.
I'm not completely in control, but I'm smart with where I delegate the areas of my life where I choose to let somebody else control that.
Yeah, that quote, man, that's huge because I don't know, man. Like, I don't really compare myself to other people, but seeing all the people I grew up with, seeing all the people I grew up with in Ohio, um, they're all kind of doing the same thing. And obviously, everybody's journey is everybody's journey, but that quote hits home because I've been all over the world. And when I say all over the world, throughout the United States, I've been to a lot of places, went overseas, played ball. Um, I decided to move to Chicago kind of like last minute. Um, and it's really molded me and helped me develop all around. And compared to my peers, some of my peers, they're still stuck in uh, the same old mentality that they had in high school or maybe their whole entire life. And they really haven't experienced anything beyond that. Like one of my partners, he's got an old lady who is from Colombia, and she's very cultural, experienced all that stuff, and he's more. uh I don't want to say one. I don't want to say one sided, but he's grew up in his hometown his whole entire life, and he still lives there. But if you were to take him out of there, like he would be that square in the circle, because I mean, he don't know nothing else. So for people to really develop and grow and have that different mindset, you do have to change environments. You do have to sometimes leave where you live. Like you left Colorado and Texas, and business is booming. You feel me? Like I left Colorado, went to Florida, and my whole life changed within a year. And now I'm up here, and like things are still going good, and um, hope to transition back to maybe somewhere over there. But that hits home, man, just because it's like you really gotta reevaluate your friends and who you're around, because if you're around people who don't want to do anything, you're not gonna want to do anything. Like all them people in Pueblo, they still there, bro. All of it. It's sad, and it's sad, bro. It's so sad because you want to help them, but it's like, man, they don't want help. They don't. To me, it's like they don't want to get out. It's 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 simple and easy because if you take the first step, that's the hardest part. Everything else will fall into place. Like the people we was running around with in college, they still there. They still doing the same thing. They're struggling more by being there than they would if they took the first step to move out of there. You ain't gotta move halfway across the country. Go to Denver, go to Fort Collins, or go to Texas, go to Florida, go to Chicago. Like, do something. Take that first step. Because if you don't, you're gonna be your own worst enemy. And then you're gonna be like, well, why this can't happen for me because of this isn't this. It can't happen for you because of yourself. Like if you would have stayed up there, business would have been booming like it is in Texas. Like you out here
I feel that that's
doing
the
your
thing.
thing.
I feel like it could have
Oh yeah,
if I and that's the thing is like some people change to different environments because they feel like they couldn't rise to the occasion.
okay,
I I feel like I could have. I know I could have rose to the occasion.
yeah,
It's just there were more things here that suited what I wanted to do and where I wanted to take my life.
right,
But I don't want to give people an excuse like, well, I can't move somewhere else, I can't go somewhere else. So,
yeah,
and you guys can, so you're privileged, and that's why you're doing. No, what I'm telling you is you don't have to leave somewhere to change the environment.
mm,
Your environment can be
that
your
too,
mindset.
that
If
too,
you if you're just looking at the environment as your physical environment, then yeah, sure, maybe you can't change that, but
yeah,
you can change how you interact with the environment, and
yeah,
that changes the environment. Like that changes it. If you, for instance, if you have a dirty room and you decide to clean it, you've just changed the environment. Like
right,
it may not seem big, but for some people, having a clean room may do something to their mentality.
oh yeah,
Same thing goes with, like if you're in a bad area or you're in an area where everybody else is negative around you,
oh,
if you're positive or you see like you use that as motivation and you speak positivity and like kind of like what I did where I had people that were in gangs like telling me you're my hero, and I'm just like I ain't got no cape on, like that's cool, but like I'm thinking this is easy, like why am I your hero?
yeah,
Like you're sitting here with me, you can walk
yeah,
out of here and start doing what you see me doing.
yeah,
Like there's nothing special about what I'm doing. I came in here in a car with two legs, two arms, two eyes, brain. You have all those things, but I realized that I came there prepared in a different way than they did.
mm,
And when my preparation met their preparation, there was some friction,
mm,
right? And when I came there prepared, I came there prepared to elevate, to grow,
mm,
to act like it has some sense. I didn't come there to 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 gang bang. I didn't come there to, risk my life because somebody looked at me the wrong way. I
mm,
didn't I came there, and me coming there was a part of my bigger journey. And so preparation is not just about, like some in-depth plan, but it's also looking at what environment you're placing yourself in compared to what environment you have to be in. because even though like I'm not stupid, a lot of people place themselves in environments that are worse than what they're actually in. You know, like if you're in a bad environment, why do you have to go to a worse environment? Like, why do you have to, if you're in a bad environment where school isn't taken seriously, why are you ditching? You're placing yourself in a worse environment. If you're in an environment where everybody's drinking, why are you going to drink with them? You're placing yourself in a worse environment. Stop making it worse for yourself. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yep. Most definitely. There's a thing, and I'm gonna touch on that you said. I think ET has said this. He said you can't go to a new environment with the same attitude.
Yeah,
So even if you were to leave and go somewhere, if you go with the same mentality, it's gonna be the same as the place you left. So it's a must that you change. Like I said, and like you said, you gotta change the internal before you change the external. And if you don't, keep going in a cycle. It's literally so simple. People, and obviously when people look at us, they're like, oh, privilege, and like, don't mistake hard work for privilege. Don't do that, because we're giving you all this free game to do what we're doing. It's taking the first step, bro. Literally the first step. Everything else will come along. You have to. I can't stress this enough. Patience, commitment, and dedication. That's it. That's literally it. If you can endure the BS along the way, you'll be fine. 100%.
I agree with that. And
Like,
I want to share this real quick because I feel like this is important. This is something else that
oh,
I
he
read
coming
on
out with all this stuff, boy. Look at this
not because
man.
it's like I'm hyped because I did research on self-determination theory and I came across this article, this morning while I was just researching, on my own time, and it's bringing back, all that research. And I like this theory because, they're talking
Mm,
about motivation. And
yeah.
this theory assumes that humans are by nature active and self-motivated,
Mm-hmm.
curious and interested, vital and eager to succeed because success itself is personally satisfying and rewarding.
Oof. Yes.
So success itself is personally satisfying
Yes.
and rewarding, and people keep
Yes.
talking about the money or the outside reward. And what I keep stressing is that I was like that. Like I thought being a janitor and making $700 every check every 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
$1,400 a month. That to me, that was the life because that was more than other people were making. Like people looked at me like a god. Like can I borrow $20? You got it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and I was in school full
uh,
time. And
yeah.
so I was doing it for money, but had I have been had I had a bigger goal and I was looking at the actual success of it, I would have been
Right.
spending that money differently.
Yeah.
But I was self-motivated to even go and work full time and go to school full time. I was
Mm-hmm.
self-motivated and people would say, like well, you're going for this degree and it doesn't make a lot of money and stuff like that. But I was so self motivated that in my mind, it's like, it doesn't matter how much money because this is what I'm interested in. And I'd rather do something I'm interested in than
Mm-hmm.
something I'm not interested in and get a whole
Yeah.
bunch of money. And
Yeah.
if the time ever comes where I want all the money in the world, then I'll just go make all the money in the world
Mm.
because of me, not because of this
Ooh.
degree. And people like I take control
Write
of
that
that.
down.
So what I'm saying is like I was genuinely interested in sociology and psychology. I wanted to understand the psychology of people. I always analyzed people. Then sociology, I wanted to understand the black community and why we were in the position that we were in within society. I did that for me. Somewhere along the way, bills and everything else came in the way and I was like, well, am I going to be able to survive off of this? Yes, that's normal. But I didn't give in and say, oh, well, I'm not going to pursue this anymore because of this. I said, I'm going to make it work. And that's what I'm doing now. And I like learning because I'm self motivated to learn. I don't like making money just to make money. I'm a boring person. I sit back and chill. I like making money so that if my nephew calls and says he wants to learn division, I can pay money to send him something that teaches him division. I want to make money so that I don't have to worry about things and I can do free things like this and give people information. And whoever supports me, and whoever doesn't, they don't. It's cool. I make money because y'all are so sensitive that you say the wrong thing and people try to take your job. I'm trying to make money because I have a big mouth and I want to say what I want to say and I don't want to jeopardize, you know, the future and stuff like that. So it's like
Fire, boy,
it's
fire.
different reasons. I don't want the nice car and all that just to have the nice car.
You don't hit the nail on the head, man. Like, whew, that's tough, bro. Cause like for me, it's the same. Like I don't really like if I want the money, I'm gonna get the money. It's that simple. But that quote hits me too because like I've been getting into different stuff. I'm always on YouTube, man. Like learning like little things just makes me like it makes me happy. Like learning how to fix a door, learning how to change the oil in your car, learning how to do stuff on Zoom or on your computer or on your phone, like on your TV. Like it's so many little things that people don't have the skill or the knowledge of, and like to learn that within a certain amount of time for me is just like amazing. It it trumps the money. Yeah, the money's nice. Money is nice. Money buys happiness. All that stuff. Um, but that quote is a reflection because even if you have money but you don't have these skills, you're still worthless. Like yeah, you could pay somebody for it, but it's more satisfying when you could do it yourself. I mean, obviously, obviously don't do nothing crazy, but a little you could you could put you some dry decks on your little door and do that stuff and sand it down and everything. But um, man, like people just are so caught up in we talked about this on different episodes, money, social media, outside things, and it's like, bro, if you just look inside you and do what you really want to do, like everything else will fall into place. Like I chill at the crib all the time. Like I really don't go nowhere. I kick it at home. I don't really be spending money like that. Like I just be chilling at home and doing my own thing. So, for those who want to go out and stuff, you gotta have money. So get the money.
Someone
But
I was talking about money the
uh,
other day with somebody, and they were like, "It was like, how much money do you want?" And they were just like, "Well, I don't want to be greedy. I don't want billions. Like, I feel like if I had billions, I would just give it away because I'm not greedy." And I was thinking, like people who are billionaires didn't get to be billionaires because they gave the money away.
right.
It's like if you gave that money away
Ooh.
and you were a billionaire, you would just get it back because giving it away, you're just gonna get it back. Like look at what people did with the stimulus checks.
Oh yeah.
They gave it back. Like there wasn't, and it's like here's the thing: when you have enough money to pay for somebody's stuff, you don't mind. It's when you're
Right.
desperate and like then you're trying to devalue what other people
Mm-hmm.
do.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like if when I go get a cheesesteak, I don't mind paying $8 or $9 from the cheesesteak when I see like this is a black owned business and they're doing their
Mm-hmm.
thing and stuff like that. Sure, here it is. You know what I mean?
Right.
But when I'm desperate and I haven't put myself in a position to be able to add value to somebody's business, now it's like,
Oh.
oh, they're too expensive. They're
Yeah.
this. Now I'm talking all this negativity about them.
Mm.
And yes, there are places that are overpriced. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? But at the same time, there's also places that are they're priced fairly and they're
Yeah.
they're devalued because you're desperate and now
Mm.
you want to look at them as greedy or whatever. But did you think about how much it took
Mm.
for them to get up and make this? You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm. Mm.
people will
Mm.
devalue this podcast. Do you know
Mm.
how much energy goes into making this? Have you
A
ever made
lot.
a podcast? Have you
A
ever
lot.
talked to people you don't know? Have you ever had people judge you and what you're saying and try to pick it apart? You know what I'm saying? Like people don't understand the preparation. It keeps going back to preparation, like the preparation that other people are putting into things.
Mm-hmm.
So when you understand the preparation, then you understand the value. But because people aren't preparing things in their own life, they're not thinking on that level. So they just think that that business just got there. You know what I'm saying? That business just got there, that food just got there, that whatever just got there.
Yep.
And I really want to help somebody. And so, I know people got stuff to do. So I just want to, you know, maybe wrap it up last 5-10 minutes. Is there
Mm.
anything you want to ask? Anything that you're just like, okay, got to get this out?
Maybe not ask, but just to tell people, man, it's simple. You know, like we both of us and including Aaron, we come from hard times
Who?
and
No.
Shalisha, Shalisha, no, I was like, we so terrible. Um, everybody come from hard times, man, and it's like, you don't have to be there. You don't have to stay there. Obviously, you have to when you're younger, but even then, at that point, you can make a decision and say that you're never gonna be at this position again in your life, and you work towards that. But man, mainly for me is just take the first step. Like I had a childhood friend. His mom saw me in Chipotle before I came here to Chicago, and they've been in Florida for like probably forever. Ever since I was young, they've been out there. And we were having a conversation, and I was telling her I was moving and stuff. She was like, "You moving again?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like I can't stay stagnant. I can't stay in one spot and be around you guys who are just y'all just chilling. Like my mentor, um, she went to a new state probably every 3 to 4 years just to get the experience and just to travel and do all those things. And like I really respect that because it's made her overall like good person. And like the professionally she is like 10 out of 10, bro. Like dang. So take the first step, change your mentality, minimize distractions, and love yourself, man. Love yourself first. Quit putting everybody else before yourself. Do what you need to do first, and then everything else will fall into place. I promise. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Kodak. Glee.
Okay. No. So I do want to say that for a certain part of the population, taking the first step is enough.
Yeah.
But there's another part of the population that hears that, and the goal becomes to take the first step, and that's it. And then I took the first step. I did what you said. It didn't work out. So now you a liar. It
Mm,
doesn't work.
mm,
You scamming.
mm.
Um. So now I'm like the people that you can tell to take the first step, and they
Yep.
know what that means. Like it's kind of like code. It's
Yeah.
like you think that by taking the first step, when somebody takes that first step, that because they're self motivated, that they're gonna take the second step and the third step and
Right.
the fourth step. But some people take that first step, they pull a chainsaw out their back pocket. There goes my. They pull a chainsaw out their back pocket and cut
Yeah.
off their other leg, and
Yeah.
now they stand there with one leg, and that
Yeah.
leg gets tired, and they lean back and fall. So
Yeah.
it's like saying take that first step is good for some people, but some
Mm,
people they 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 use that
mm-hmm.
as a way to say, well, I took the first step, it didn't work out, so let me go on and cut my leg off and make
Mm.
it look worse than what it is, so that you don't have to ask me to take another step again. Because look at me, I'm so damaged by this first step that I don't need to take another step again.
Guess
And
what? Guess what? Those people that say, "Oh, I took that first step," they didn't take the first step. I'm gonna tell you why. They didn't take the first step. Taking that first step, you're gonna endure a lot of stuff, and you're gonna face a lot of trials and tribulations. And if you complete that first step, you made it. But if you're talking about, "Oh, I made the first step and I completed it," but like I'm so damaged, then you really didn't take that first step. Because you take that first step, it made you stronger. If you let it damage you, you didn't take that first step.
for a certain population, though, because it's
No.
like I've seen people where they're like, they want to do something,
Mm.
and like the New Year's resolution that we were talking about.
Yep.
They'll go sign up for the gym.
Yep.
They'll go run. They'll go lift some weights. but then that first day their arms are sore.
Mm.
You
Okay.
know what I mean?
I
Their
see what you're
arms are
saying.
sore. Now
I
it's
see what
like,
you're saying.
now I can't go back. Like I did, I went in, I did it. That's good enough. I'll
Yeah.
try again next year. You
Yeah.
know, and then when
Okay.
next year comes, you've gotten so unhealthy that
Mm.
now it's starting to compound. It's starting to build up. So now it's even hard for you to take that first crawl.
Mm.
Now, the next year you can't crawl. You like
Mm.
trying to roll, and
Mm.
then pretty soon you just pooping in a diaper. You ain't doing
Mm.
nothing. So
Mm.
I'm just saying, by taking that first
Okay.
step and thinking the first step is good enough, it is for a certain population that is self-motivated and understands like the nuance of what you're actually trying to say. Like, take that
Yeah.
first step, learn your lessons. Like, that's good enough for people that actually want it. But some
Yeah.
people, they need to take that first step and they need someone right behind them to kick them in
Mm.
their back so they
Mm.
start rolling down the hill.
Mm.
While they're rolling down the hill, they're figuring out, okay, oh, there's a rock. Let me go this way. Oh, I hit my head. I passed out for 6 hours and it's dark. I woke up and there's coyotes and wolves around me, but I'm going to make this.
Mm.
Like, some people need that
Mm.
and some people don't. There's nothing wrong with either way. If you can get kicked down a mountain and survive that and make, you know what I'm saying, then you're going to be a
Yeah.
lot stronger.
Yeah.
If you can take that first step and make it, you're going to be a lot stronger. It's the
Mm.
people that self sabotage and they think that because they took the first step that that's it.
Mm.
That's who I'm talking to directly, because although we like to use these cliches like take the first step, and I'm not saying that's what you're doing, because I understand what you're saying, and for a certain group of people that's good enough and that's all they like, that's they've been waiting to hear that, and like that's good enough for them.
Yep.
But a certain group of people, they're like, mm, I took the first step, like do the dishes in the sink. I did one dish, but that water was, like that water was a little too hot, so I left the other dishes.
Let him to soak.
Yeah, I let them soak.
Oh man.
That's gonna be the name of the podcast. Let them.
Make moves and make excuses. Mm.
You said make
Hey,
moves or make
make move,
excuses.
make moves and make excuses.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Gang.
some people make moves just so they can keep making excuses,
Ooh.
like that self sabotage thing, because it's no longer cool to just not do anything.
Yep.
It's cool to pretend that you're making moves.
Mm.
But some people aren't stupid. Like, how much is enough to make it look like it's enough.
Mm.
You know how much is
Mm.
enough. Like, what to do on your homework when you
Mm.
wasn't
Mm.
trying to really do it, but you know how much was enough to make it seem like you was really putting some
Ooh.
work in,
Don't do it. Don't do it.
right?
Ooh.
You
Ooh.
People know how far to go to make it look like, like, well, you can't prove that I wasn't doing, you know what I mean? Like, we've been at those jobs where that's happened. So I think a large part of it is people just realizing that when it comes down to it, they are going to have to, one, and this is where I think the practicality comes in at, one, start doing it. Like, just start doing it. Whatever it is
Mm.
that you want to do, start doing it.
Yep.
Think
Yep.
about it. You've done enough thinking, you've done enough planning.
Mm.
Just start doing it and then start making the plan. You've waited too long. And right now you're in the waiting room of a hospital, ER, bleeding out, and you're sitting here thinking about it too long and you're going to bleed out.
Yeah.
And that's the main point I want to get across to people.
911. Yeah. I need you to send a fire truck. Fitz is on fire.
Hey,
Whoo! Send help, please.
send them,
Send help. Send the
send
National Guard, please.
send them.
Please.
Nah, we're going to need more than that.
Oh
We're going
boy,
to need some Call of Duty soldiers.
bro, look at this snow, bro. I don't even know if you can see that. Nah, you can't even see that,
Is
John.
there's a glare.
Bro, I have to see your. I have to see your picture, bro.
I'm just this week, it's just there's a lot that's hitting me, and this preparation really got me hype.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's just so much that goes on behind closed doors that people will
Mm-hmm.
never know. And I know we joke on the podcast about, like a lot of stuff, but for some people it's really serious. There's somebody that's like
Yeah.
taking offense to the fact of me saying that they self-sabotage themselves, but it's true. Like it's really that easy. Like it really is that easy to just start doing something. And the way you know that it's easy is you're a human. If
Mm.
you are a human, you are at the top of the food chain over pretty much everything else on this planet.
Mm.
And there are other, like, everything that another human did, you can do. Like, we are 99.999% the same, all of us.
Mm.
Yes,
Mm.
we have talents. Yes, we have different things. But what I'm saying is we live in a society to where you can pay somebody to do something. We live in
Mm.
a society to where you can look up anything. There's
Yep.
there's no longer any excuses. And I
Yep.
think there's a certain portion of the population that's upset about that.
Mm.
Like their their way of living has been ruined because there is no more excuses. So what I want to say is, one, take control. Whatever that thing is, take control of it. Two, reflect on what it is that you want and consistently reflect on it and reflect on it and reflect on it until it consumes you. Three, subscribe to the podcast so that you can keep getting this message and keep on getting positive messages and motivation. And like, if you do need one-on-one coaching, there's no shame in that. Reach out.
Mm.
Like, we got you. We're here. um Sometimes people just need more time, more dedication, and more focus when it comes to certain things. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, just know what's for you. Take your goals seriously, be accountable, and it'll work out.
Mm. It's always impossible until it's possible.
Yes,
Nelson Mandela.
it's always impossible until it's
It's
possible,
possible. Mm.
right?
From the bottom.
All right. Well, I think that wraps up this episode. Uh, thank you
Dang.
for watching. If you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, like,
Boop,
comment,
boop.
share, all that. From the bottom, thank you for another great episode, and we're out.
From the bottom.